Tigers Park, Dan Egerski with you for about another 20 minutes or so. We've got baseball coming up at 6:05. Cardinals and the Cubs, game 2 of that 3-game series up in Chicago. All of our guests are on the Federated Insurance Hotline. This young man's had a pretty good fall. He runs cross country for the Reitz Panthers. He's got the top time of anybody in the SIAC this year with a 15:56 run at the Modern Day Invitational a couple weeks ago. He'll be one of the favorites to win the SIAC championship in a couple of weeks. He is senior Colton Meyer from Reitz. Colton, how are you?
Pretty good.
All right, well, the senior year of years, pretty good start. I mean, you take a look at that event that you had at the Modern Day Invitational coming up, just a couple weeks ago on September the 13th. Put you at the top spot in the SIAC. You and Quentin Pierce of Castle and your teammate Austin Nolan there at Reitz. Throw in Alex King as well. This is a pretty good Reitz cross-country team this year, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We've also had a couple good teams in the past, and where we really shine is late season, so I expect us to improve a lot. The later we go into the season, it seems like the better we get.
Well, I think everybody in the neighborhood, as far as the SIAC, with the exception of North, will be competing Saturday in the Pike Central Invitational. And then, of course, you've got the SIAC meet coming up a week from Saturday. What's the competition been like this year for this Panther cross-country team?
We've been to a bunch of different meets, and most of them have been against the SIAC teams, but we've also been to state preview, which a lot of teams from around the state go to. And then also this past weekend we went to Crawford County, which we were the only Evansville team there.
How have you been able to do it as far as these races? Have you been able to win some of them?
Yeah, I've been up in the front quite a few times. Actually, this past race at Crawford County, I was in fifth going into the final K, and I ended up coming in first in that race.
Okay, so what's that like? You run track in the spring, and you run a mile, 4 times around the track, or 2 miles. You run, 8 times around the track, and you can kind of see your competitors. Cross country is a little bit different. I mean, you guys running in wide open spaces, maybe running through some wooded areas and things like that, and you probably don't get a whole lot chance to look back and see, who may be following you or chasing you down. What's that like as far as those last 50 yards of a cross-country meet, Colton, knowing that, there's nobody in front of you and you have a chance to win the race?
It's definitely nerve-wracking at times. I know that it usually comes down where I'm behind them and I outkick them, but it has come down where I've been in the front and I have taken glances back, but yeah, it's very nerve-wracking.
Well, as far as this weekend now at Pike Central, and then, like we said, the postseason really kind of begins after that. I know this year they modified the schedule a little bit, where there's a whole week now between the conference and the sectional. Before the SIAC would be run during the week, and then you'd have less than a week to get ready for the sectional. How much of a factor, how important is that for you guys to have an entire week behind these between these matches?
I definitely like this new setup a whole lot better because we are on a set workout. We do workout 2 times a week plus the race on Saturday. So when we have the race on Saturday, it's like I know when I'm going to be training hard and when my easy days are. So when it comes down Saturday, I'm always in the zone because I've been racing every Saturday for the past couple weeks now.
You talk about getting in the zone. When do you start getting into that zone? I mean, when do you mentally think to yourself, okay, this is, wherever I'm going to be, get ready for the Pike Central Invitational coming up on Saturday? When will you really start to think about how you're going to prepare that race this week?
It starts off the night before, of course, getting ready for everything, making sure all my stuff is packed, everything in the right spot. Then once we get there, it depends if we're the first race or the last race. At the state preview, we're the first race. So as soon as we got there, we had to go on a warm-up run, which is 2 miles, and then right then I'm in the zone. But at Crawford County this past weekend, we had an hour and a half to ourselves before we even went on the warm-up. So I think when I really start getting in the zone is when we start that warm-up period.
Colton Meyer joining us here, the Federated Insurance Hotline, senior cross-country runner for the Reitz Panthers. All right, the SIAC a week from Saturday. We talk about Quentin Pierce, outstanding competitor. He'll be there. Brogan Harmon, we've had him here on the program. He's outstanding runner from Harrison. You've got Evan McDonald from Modern Day. As you take a look at that conference meet a week from Saturday, what do you think the chances are of Reitz being there in contention for the championship?
It really depends who are 4 and 5 runners. In cross country, it's the top 5 runners score. So it doesn't matter if you have a great number 1 runner. It matters if you have that back half of the team. Our team at the Modern Day Invite, our top 3 runners scored 11 points, which is very good. We were the top team after 3 runners. But after 5, we were the 4th place team. So our 4 and 5 runners, like I said earlier, are all right, but we'll get better as time goes on. I believe we'll be there when it really counts during sectionals, regionals, and semi-state.
All right, one final question. The SIAC meet's going to be over at Angel Mounds. We've been over there for the junior high meet a couple of weeks ago. What do you think of that course?
It's nice and fast. A lot of people say it's a track with grass on it. It's a nice long sweeping turns, and it's one of the fastest courses in Indiana. So I think that a lot of people get their personal records on it, and I definitely like it because it's a lot more. You have that save up for the end to make sure you keep on going and you're not giving up.
Well, again, a flat course for a cross-country runner is a lot better than running on a golf course than a bunch of hills, isn't it?
Yeah, Pike Central this weekend is a hilly course, yet it's fast. So it all depends on most of these courses that we race in postseason. I've ran in the past, but I know which areas to make a move or speed up a bit. So it really comes down to like how much you like that course and how you ran on it in the past.
All right, Colton Meyer from Reitz. He's got the top time in the SIAC this year as far as cross-country. He'll be in action this week with the Pike Central Invitational, the SIAC next week at Angel Mounds. Colton, thanks for a few minutes of your time. Good luck to you and to the Panthers this weekend at Pike Central.
Thank you.
All right, that is Colton Meyer. He and all of our guests on the Federated Insurance Hotline. I'll be